Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Block it in motion right. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visitors getting the win there. So they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Okay.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
No, not those. I was talking about the ones without the window.
They're all
They run it again with Chubb. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Jones. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Can't hear you.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first.
The cheese in there.
At their own 46.
Lot of
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From midfield now, Burrow trying to lay one up deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Darius Slayton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Ravens will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Browns 9.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
Room here to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick.
And the Browns are going to get the football back at their own 17.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The Browns have 3-10 now on the year. But they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones, he lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Jones now to throw on third down.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game.
Marcus May with a pick.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there wrestling in quickly to make the play. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
On third down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown.
Darnell Mooney
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action.
A quick throw out to Lockett.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Romeo Dobbs.
73 yards.
And the Ravens are able to add on to their first half lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground.
And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
They go play action with Burrow. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
11 MT takes 12.
Burrow looking to pass. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him in.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Romeo Doubs. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on second down. Jones. This one completes Alec Pierce. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Well, just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter, I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot,
Here we go.
they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Burrow's throw finds its target, Dobbs.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
A 12-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. Got a man, Slayton.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in by Slayton. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening it up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
On one, ready?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this
is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. So roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They begin this drive with Chubb. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
141 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go now.
Lockett, the man in motion. A give running right is Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Another good run for him. What else is new? They ought to put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. And Chubb will try the middle here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, They're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Running for it. Here's Chubb.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain.
For the winning side, Charles, all that was missing was a